But there was one scene, I don't know if you noticed it, there was one take within the film itself where Scott does a side kick to my face, and he actually does the real kick. And it was minus 20 degrees when we filmed, minus 20. And you can imagine we've got shorts, no tops on.
Oh, yeah.
Spraying us with water to make it look like sweat. We did a live show, did a whole fight scene in front of the big screen.
Silvio, it's a pleasure to have you here. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's nice to be online talking to you. We've met each other January this year, I believe, in Atlantic City for the first time, and then afterwards martial arts event in UK.
That's right.
So it's nice to proceed with this podcast.
Okay, so the reason for this is you'll be coming to our event in September to the Czech Republic. I think you said you have not been to the Czech Republic before.
I haven't, no. Oddly enough, I've traveled so extensively. First of all, as an athlete, when I was competing in martial arts, I traveled extensively throughout the world, especially Europe. But Czech Republic, I've been very curious to visit at some stage. I've never had the opportunity. So Here comes the opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it.
Okay, that's great. So I'm sure you will like it. Not just the country, but also what we are working on currently with the event. But you come from Croatia, right?
Correct. Yes, I was born in Croatia. I left Croatia when I was 12, and that's when I came to UK with family. Initially, it was for 6 years only, but ended up for me rest of my life being here.
Oh wow!
Initially, as a family, we came to UK only for 6 years. My father's contract expired for his contract that he had with his work. So my parents went back. My brother and I decided to stay behind and pursue university in London, but then decided to stay in the end.
Okay. Have you ever regretted it? Have you ever come back to Croatia?
Oh, I go every year, twice a year. I haven't regretted it because it's presented me with opportunities which maybe I would have not had in Croatia. Right. So I'm very grateful for opportunities that have come my way and doors that have opened up for me. So no regrets. But besides, I don't really believe in regrets in life. I believe everything happens for a reason. Even when the bad happens to us, it's there to serve us in some shape or form, to make us stronger or wiser. I don't have regrets in life.
That's a great attitude. So you had to study in the UK as well. You said 12 years old. So you went to middle school.
Yes, I did my schooling initially. Being largely influenced by my father, I chose to go to university to do business economics. So nothing to do with career I'm pursuing now. So I went did a degree in business economics. When my parents left UK, I decided I'm going to chase my own dreams and ambitions. So there was another opportunity when my parents left the UK for me to really start pursuing my real interest, my real passion, which was movies and the sports as well, which I'm doing to this date.
So when did martial arts come into that mix?
Actually, martial arts came when I was 12. When I first came to UK, my brother and I were being attacked whilst in Croatia. Luckily, I didn't get scratched, but my brother was punched quite a few times. And when we came back to UK, we both decided that we wanted to do something about this. So if anyone was to attack us in future, we could take care of ourselves. So we decided to take up martial arts. So I think with pretty good, strong purpose at the very beginning. And I always say to people, make sure you find a strong purpose, find a good reason why you're doing it. Make sure that purpose is so strong. So when you come to deciding you want to quit, you remind yourself why you started in the first place. Just remind yourself with a strong purpose. So yes, we initially started off, both my brother and I, because we were attacked. But I remember my very first taekwondo lesson. When I left the class, my dream was to become a black belt. It was no two ways. It was like, this is the journey I want to pursue and continue. And to this day, I'm still practicing and very much learning.
Wow. So you started with taekwondo. You earned your black belt. You had also much success on tournament circuit later on, I believe. I know you are also a multiple champion in taekwondo, right?
Correct. In ITF taekwondo, there are two distinct styles. One is WTF or WT, which is the Olympic style. Yes. I practiced the other one, which I'm pleased in a way, to be honest, because I think Olympics have not really done martial arts any favors, because they've diluted the true essence of what martial arts are, because you're very restricted in terms of what you can or cannot do. So I did the other style, ITF, which is more self-defense based rather than sport based.
Yes.
Practiced taekwondo, got to a black belt, so competed extensively on a world level and across European countries. And then first opportunity arose for me to be in the movies. But by then I started practicing kickboxing and karate and hapkido and Wing Chun, just to expand my knowledge and horizon. But I remember back in those days, in 1980s, if you practiced anything that was outside your system, people would frown and think, "Ooh, why are you training with them? You know, we give you the ultimate truth, so you don't need to mix with others." So I embraced the concept of Jeet Kune Do when I first started off. And my instructor was very encouraging. My instructor used to send me to go and practice Kyokushinkai and Shotokan and Wing Chun, whereas most other systems of martial arts did not like it. They did not like if you mixed with other groups and disciplines. So he really opened up my mind from the very beginning. Wise
man. Yes. Okay. So in terms of movies, you said the opportunity presented itself after you got better in martial arts. So was the first role was it martial arts related? It was
my first role was when I met Scott Adkins, and this was year 2000, so 25 years ago. I had previous experience working on screen and TV, but mainly TV commercials. Also some endorsements I did for some of my sponsors, because I had picked up sponsors along the way when I was competing. I did some TV adverts, but I had no prior experience in films. And once I graduated from business economics at Thames Valley University, I was working for university itself for 3 years. And I remember I had a phone call from a colleague of mine. He said, "Oh, I just saw an advert in the magazine. They're looking for stuntmen to go Thailand for this film." So I took the number, made the phone call straight away. And I was literally 5 weeks later, I was off to Thailand for 3 months. I gave up my job. I said, "This is exciting. This is my new career." I went off to Thailand. This was playing a stuntman. So first 2 weeks, I had no work at all. So I got really, really bored. And I remember pulling director Choi Hark and action director Yun Woo Ping. I pulled them to the side and I said, "Why didn't you write a character for me in the script so I can be in the film, as opposed to just doing stunts?" They pulled me to the side. They said, "Show us some of your moves." I did some moves. And they said, "Okay." And they literally wrote my character in the script there and then. And this was filmed with Scott Adkins, Black Mask 2.
I was just about to ask, because...
Black Mask 2.
Yeah, so that was your very first movie experience, Black Mask 2?
That was my very first movie experience, correct, yes.
So this is the sequel to Black Mask with Jet Li.
With Jet Li, correct, yes.
And the director was Tsui Hark, and the action choreographer was Yun Woo Ping. So that was your very first experience in movies with those two legends.
I know, and Scott Adkins as well.
And Scott Adkins.
And I think that kind of served me as a great motivation and inspiration. It really inspired me, having worked with such legends, to expand my horizon and increase my skills in those areas. So I've got bigger chance of landing these roles in future.
Did you know those two names those are Hong Kong legends? I mean, probably to me, the two most influential gentlemen in the Hong Kong cinema, in the new, after Shaw Brothers, and in the new
right.
Hong Kong cinema. Did you know them before?
Not at all. I did my research. I found out who was on this production. I found out their background, but I didn't know who they were. Previously, I had no knowledge whatsoever. Not even with Scott Adkins. Obviously, Scott was just breaking into his industry, but I had no idea whatsoever. So I was very much excited and enthused by having the opportunity to work with these guys and gain the experience.
Oh, wow, that must have been really a tremendous experience.
It was incredible. It really was incredible, truly, because I say to people, I mean, one day on a film set is equivalent of being in a film school for a month. You absorb so much. And I remember distinctly, even the days that I was not working, I insisted coming on film set just so I could learn the craft. And I would pull a chair behind Choi Hark and I would watch him. I would watch the way he works, how he chooses the shots, just taking it all in like a sponge. Especially being a newcomer, I was very much open to new ideas and new ways. And I remember first 3 weeks, I did not take a single day off. I was on set every single day, just absorbing everything and learning.
Of course, I mean, to watch these legends at work, it's like Harvard University or Cambridge, Oxford University.
For sure.
In movies or in action genre. So that was also the moment when you make friendship with Scott Adkins.
Correct, yes. We became close friends. Scott was living in London at the time. In fact, 10, 15 minutes drive from where I lived. We kept in touch. We became very close in Thailand. It was like a big brother house for all the cast because, you know, you're away from home, you're away from family. So you become very close with the cast that you work with the crew and cast. So Scott and I became very close friends and we kept pulling each other on different jobs. Not just TV work, not just films, but we used to do live events. And I remember distinctly Bruce Lee's 60th birthday, Scott and I had a live show in one of the big cinemas in UK that was celebrating 60 years of Bruce Lee's birthday. We did a live show, did a whole fight scene in front of the big screen. But we did many of these live shows, not always martial arts related, but these were the days when in between movie sets, we used to pull each other on live events and shows to work with each other.
Okay. So you appeared with Scott in 3 other movies, if I counted correctly.
Also in a TV series called Mile High. I did Mile High with Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, I posted a clip from the show the other day on our Facebook page. I found it somewhere on the internet, the YouTube.
Brilliant. Yes, I came across that.
Yes, but I mean, you've been together in Unleashed with Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the big scene in Undisputed 2.
Undisputed 2, correct.
So what was that about? I heard some stories about that. That's like the whole series, beginning with the second installment and then coming up to the fourth one. Now this is crazy. Like
I remember receiving a phone call from Scott when he said to me, "I'd like to work alongside me in this film," because I had watched the first one by then, and I know the first one has got Wesley Snipes in it. And I think kind of the storyline was loosely based around Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson goes to prison, he gets challenged in prison. Or that was the stories I was hearing. So when I had a phone call, I was like, no way, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, this is like, I absolutely loved the first one with Wesley Snipes. So when Scott said, I'd love you to come work with me, I was over the moon. So I went off to Bulgaria. That's where it was filmed, New Image Studios. It was minus 20 degrees when we filmed. Minus 20, and you can imagine we've got shorts, no tops on.
Oh yeah,
spraying us with water to make it look like sweat. So that was a memorable experience. But working with JJ Perry, JJ Perry was the choreographer. I worked with JJ Perry on 3 productions, I think. Another guy who's an absolute legend. I've got so much respect for him, and he's gone a long way as well.
Oh yeah. So. Shot in Bulgaria, great fight scenes in also the other movies like Undisputed 3 and 4. But so it must have been really hard in these conditions. Most of the scenes of the whole Undisputed series are really on the top level of what you can see in martial arts cinema these days.
But believe it or not, we had very little rehearsal time for Undisputed 2, very little rehearsal time. But what really helps is Scott and I have known each other for many years before that. We trained together, we did gym together. So there was a trust between us. And I think if you trust each other when you're on film set, it's going to translate really well. You can compare it to dancers. They've been dancing together for years. They're going to come across a lot more fluid, a lot more confident, a lot more natural than if they just met for the first time. So that worked in our favor. The fact that we had worked with each other before, so we could trust each other, and the rehearsal time was greatly reduced because we managed to put it off quite quickly. But there was one scene, I don't know if you noticed it, there was one take within the film itself where Scott does a side kick to my face, and he actually does the real kick. And there's you can see this element of surprise. I was shocked that he kicked me in the face. Isaac Florentine used this in the edit. I didn't think he was going to use it, but it's the actual kick to the face, which was quite hardcore. Side kick to my face.
Oh, wow. Yeah, these things happen. Of course. So out of all the other movies that you've done by now, is there any that really is special to you?
I enjoyed very much working with Keanu Reeves, Man of Tai Chi.
Okay.
Keanu, obviously, he made a huge success from Matrix 1, 2, and 3. And Matrix 1, 2, and 3 were choreographed by Yuen Woo-ping. So I had the opportunity. I worked with Yuen Woo-ping on 3 movies so far. Keanu Reeves wanted to team up with Yuen Woo-ping to make a film. And this was his film. His debut directing was Man of Tai Chi. And just discovering what an incredible human being and a person Keanu Reeves was, for me, amazing. Really, what an amazing guy. Very caring, very kind, very thorough in his work. So that was another experience which I like to talk about quite often when people ask me about movies.
Okay. You also appeared in Transporter 3 with Jason Statham.
Jason Statham, yes.
We also put a video of that fight scene. What was it like to work with Jason?
Another great professional. We in fact had 1 week to rehearse for that fight scene. This was Europa Corporation, Luc Besson. It was filmed in Paris, or most of it anyway. And we'd rehearsed for a week. Jason Statham wouldn't even come for rehearsals. They would film everything on video, take it to his room. He would watch it. He would turn up on set and just pull it off. So amazing the way, his concentration, his focus, he pulls it off extremely quickly. You would find it hard to believe that he had no rehearsal at all, unlike the rest of us.
Well, no, I wouldn't believe that, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. You also appeared in some installment of the Street Fighter series, or the movie series. I haven't seen that one. It's called Street Fighter Resurrection.
Resurrection, yes, correct.
So
one of my close friends who I've worked on several productions, Joey Ansa. Joey Ansa has been big fan of Street Fighter since he was a kid. And his problem is they've had many attempts to shoot Street Fighter, but he felt they didn't really portray the characters the way the genuine fans would have. They simply used famous people like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Kylie Minogue to play these parts. And he felt they've not really managed to put across the true essence of those characters. So he wanted to do it real for the fans, for the real hardcore fans of Street Fighter. And Sony gave him the money and he thought, okay, I'm going to do this.
Wow. Well, I remember Joey back from the times when martial arts tricking came up, because he was one of the first trickers after the year 2000, or maybe it was just late 90s and the time after that. So I followed him. I watched his videos because he's also very talented. Very. Yeah, but I haven't heard about him in the past few years, so I wasn't even aware of the fact that he stands behind those movies, because there's maybe 2 of them. This one and maybe another one.
He's one of the most underrated actors I know. He's very talented in many areas. I wish we'd seen him more on screen. He really is. He's phenomenal. Wow. Man of lots of good ideas as well.
Did he work on what's the name of the series?
Born Ultimate and Born Identity. He was, yes.
Yes.
Yes, he was. I think it's Born Supremacy. That was the third one, I think.
That was a scene in this. I think it was a bathroom or something. There was a really hardcore close combat scene in one of those three movies, and I think Joey was in that.
Joey. So was Scott Adkins was in there as well, but the scene is so fast and so quick, most people wouldn't even recognize that it was Scott.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Scott.
I didn't know that.
Fight scene. Oh yeah. It was just everything just happened so quickly.
Is he?
I remember.
Is Scott credited in that movie? I have to check it.
I'm sure he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Well, interesting. We also posted a clip from the movie DOA, Dead or Alive. Do you have any takes on that? Where was it filmed? That one?
Dead or Alive was filmed in 2007. That was all shot in China.
I thought somewhere in Asia, but I wasn't sure about the whereabouts.
We started off in a beautiful part of South China, Guilin. Guilin is where they filmed Star Wars. It's got a very distinct landscape with mountains and hills which have got very steep peaks.
Okay.
It looks very different. I think a lot of the Star Wars scenes they shot in Guilin.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent a good 2 months in Guilin filming. That was with Eric Roberts, Sarah Carter, Jamie Presley. For me to meet Eric Roberts, who blew me away when I saw him in Best of the Best, being an athlete. When I watched him, I remember being in the dining room. I had no idea he was one of the cast.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there with a friend of mine. We're talking, and all of a sudden, Eric Roberts walks in. And I just stopped in absolute awe, not realizing Eric Roberts was working with us. In fact, we became very, very close. We were gym buddies every day, training together in the gym. Yeah, that was an interesting one. But, interestingly, I said this is 2007. DOA was the last film I did on 35mm film. Everything was digital after that.
That's an interesting fact. Okay.
35mm. Interestingly, when I finished filming, I had to stay in China for 2 more weeks because the center of the films to get developed. If there was any footage there that needed to be reshot, they needed me close by. So when I finished shooting, I had to stay in China. So I did a tour around China. I did Hong Kong, I did Beijing, visiting around until they developed the film and tell me, we've got green lights, you can go home. So that was the last film I did on film, 35mm. And then afterwards, everything was digital.
So nowadays, when everything is digital, no more holidays during filming.
No more holidays, no.